Namaste, welcome, good morning, good afternoon, back to Desi Vibes 360. So आज हम लोग बॉलीवुड के बारे में बात करेंगे, which is Indian film industry. It's pretty exciting, right? We all know that there are two most popular religions in India. One is cricket and the other one is Bollywood. Bollywood produces the largest number of feature films in the entire world. Yes, and no one can match them. So today we are going to talk about our own experiences from our childhood. Joining with us is Shorin and Arun Singh, like always. And how did we see the Bollywood movies coming up? अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ हम मूवी देखने जाते थे, क्या करते थे, and all that stuff, right? Second piece, what we want to talk about is based on the influx of the new Bollywood era in the last, let's say, 15 or 20 years and the OTT platform. Our topic is Bollywood still relevant? The kind of movies we used to see earlier and now today, the kind of music what we used to see long time back, like Kishore Kumar and Mukesh and Lata Mangeshkar, और अब आजकल कैसा चल रहा है, ये सारी हम discussions करेंगे बातें. So before I invite Shorin on the floor and start talking about it, my all-time favorite in the 70s and 80s was the one-man industry, Amitabh Bachchan. Here you go. आज खुश तो बहुत होगे तुम, जो आज तक तुम्हारे मंदिर की सीढ़ियां नहीं चढ़ सका, जिसने आज तक तुम्हारे सामने कभी सर नहीं झुकाया, जिसने आज तक तुम्हारे सामने कभी हाथ नहीं फैलाए, वो आज तुम्हारे सामने हाथ फैलाई कराया. That's Amitabh Bachchan.
Wow, that's a good Bachchan impression.
So, Sharon, come on board, man.
Okay, so before we jump into Bollywood and talk about Bollywood, there was a trivia that we had given for the IPL episode. Who is the second highest scorer in T20 for RCB after Virat Kohli? The answer, some of you all replied, but not in the Q&A section. The answer is Rahul Dravid, who has 700 odd runs. So there are more trivias coming up. Put them in the Q&A section or the comment section, not private messages to us. So please, in Bollywood, we'll have some trivia as well. This is how we want to know that you're all paying attention. So back to Bollywood again. So circuit from Munna Bhai MBBS, right? भाई के पास जाता है, मुन्ना भाई के पास बोलता है कि भाई ये बता अकल बड़ी या भैंस. तो मुन्ना भाई बोलता है अरे पहले ये तो बता कि उसका डेट ऑफ बर्थ क्या है, उसके बाद अपन बता खाली फिर मेरा टाइम नहीं बिगाड़ेगा क्या फुट. अच्छा फिर सर्किट पूछता है अच्छा भाई फोर्ड क्या है, अरे तेरे को इतना भी नहीं मानते, फोर्ड मतलब गाड़ी, चल भाग इधर से. तो बोलता है ठीक है भाई तो ऑक्सफोर्ड क्या है, अरे ऑक्सफोर्ड बोले तो बैलगाड़ी भाई, तेरे को क्या है सर्किट यार, ये किधर से क्वेश्चन लेके आता है, जल्दी निकल इधर से. तो just stick around folks, we have Nora Fatehi interview maybe after this segment, so just stick around for that. We'll see if we can pull that one off.
Oh come on. Come on Shorin.
Hey,
I wish.
The surprise. A surprise can always be, arranged.
But, I know, Anshul, Christmas is far away, so
yeah, I know. Yeah. I would have Nora Fatehi over here on this podcast and video instead of Arun and Shorin.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Yeah, but going back to the movies, the first movie that I ever watched in a movie theater was Hathi Mere Saathi. I'll ask you guys, right, what was the first movie, if you all remember? Maybe it was Raja Harishchandra, guys. No, but Hathi Mere Saathi was the first movie I ever watched on the big screen. But India mein, right, growing up, like Anshul said, I'm a kid of the 70s and 80s. So by then, Bachchan Mania had taken over completely. Growing up in Bombay, we had a pretty middle class or even a lower middle class, existence, because my father was the only earner as a clerk in a paint factory. So movies or discretionary spending was pretty limited. I can hardly remember going to the any movies, growing up. Of course, few of the Amitabh Bachchan movies, right? Like Sholay, Satya Pe Satta, not Satya Pe Satta, Sholay, and Amar Anthony were the ones that I saw. Even the other ones like Diwar and Trishul and all, we did not watch it in the theaters. In the 80s, it became a little bit better because from college, we would bunk college, go to the movies, but not so much in the 70s. But that being said, Amitabh Bachchan is one of my favorite actors as well. But I did not quite enjoy, the actors of the 60s like Rajesh Khanna. I knew they were superstars, right? Like Dilip Kumar, then Rajesh Khanna, Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan. These were the superstars through the year. But like Devanand, Rosie, मैं तुमसे इतना प्यार करता हूँ, so I didn't really. I liked an angry young man, Zanjeer images, right, and the subsequent movies with Amitabh Bachchan. My favorite movie director, has been Gulzar. Some movies like Hututu, Ijazat, Kitab was incidentally growing up in Bombay. Kitab was entirely filmed in our school in St. Xavier's in Vilepale, and we used to see Master Raju and Gulzar in our school filming.
Soren, you grew up in Bombay, right?
Right.
So any famous actor that was living closer to you? I know Bombay is a big place, but who was the closest? Anybody that coming in and out of your house, you ran into stars around growing up?
Not coming in and out of the house, but we lived pretty close to Juhu, and Amitabh Bachchan's bungalow was right there, on Juhu Beach. I've never seen Amitabh Bachchan, but we would see the crowds outside his house, thronging, and in the evenings, on Sunday evenings. But
actually, I was lucky to go in that house. Pratiksha is name, right?
Pratiksha, yeah.
Yeah, so Harbans Rai Bachchan, friend of mine, his relative to Amitabh Bachchan. Because of him, I got that.
So Gulzar was one of my favorite directors, and but I like movies like Hera Fairy, with Paresh Rawal and Akshay Kumar and Sunil Shetty, and also Jani Bhide Yaro. But my favorite movie of all time is Mahesh Bhatt's Saransh, which was Anubhav Kher's first movie, and Diwar is the second favorite. But so Saransh was my all-time favorite movie. But we'll come more discussions about this as well. Quick trivia for our audience. Post your responses in the comments or Q&A section. What is Hrithik Roshan's last name?
Yeah, thank you, Soren. That was very interesting. So, growing up in Allahabad, the early days, of starting to watch movie, there was a cinema hall called Puspraj, and that was owned by Maharaja Rima, and then Raja Shankargarh. He was overlooking the administration of that, I believe, at that time. But he used to write a letter on his pad. I wish I had saved those notes that, admit 5 or 6 free at no cost. So, we used to get the written letter to be shown to the manager, and they would let us go sit in the balcony. So that was very, fine memories of that. Of course, in Muthiganj side where I lived, there was 3 cinema halls, Gautam, Sangeet, and Darpana. I'm sure I can forget my ABCDs, but I won't forget those names of cinema hall. Interestingly enough, one of the theaters just on the other side of the street was where Harbans Rai Bachchan had his place. Of course, Amitabh's dad, I don't think Amitabh Bachchan lived in that house. Nevertheless, there was a house that Harbans Rai Bachchan was there, and he wrote that, masterpiece, Madhushala. And considering, Harbans Rai Bachchan never drank, even more so noteworthy that he wrote such a masterpiece. A couple of interesting facts that people may not know about. The name Bachchan, Harbans Rai Shirvasta, was his real name. But as a kid, his parents used to call him Bachchan. In UP, they call it Babua, Bachwa. So that was the name given to his parents, Bachchan. And then Harbans Rai Bachchan started signing the name as Harbans Rai Bachchan. And that's how it became Amitabh Bachchan and all that. So, but
अरुण, मैं ये सोचता था कि बच्चन जैसे शायरी में बोलते हैं कि it's a तखल्लुस, That's what he
Yes.
used, like Bachchan, right?
Yeah. So he was writer and all that stuff, and so he used the nickname. But that's the story goes that was
Yeah.
his home name. But Harbans Rai Bachchan, I mean, he received Padma Bhushan in 1976 for the Hindi literature. But not many people know that he was in the Allahabad University English teaching department from 41 to 57. So very interesting. Of course, those days the Allahabad had many famous writers like Munshi Premchand, Mahadevi Verma, Smita Nandan Pant. So anyway, sorry for digressing for the Harbans Rai Bachchan, but interesting part of where I grew up. It was Harbans Rai Bachchan's place and Amitabh Bachchan's obviously house and all that.
Second trivia question for our audience. So, which year Amitabh Bachchan came to debut in Hindi cinema? Which year was it? Please answer in the Q&A section and comment section.
I would not get any of those answers. These are tough questions you're asking me.
I know. These don't Google, guys.
Yeah.
Answer them sincerely.
Yeah. So the movie scene was, obviously during that time, the memory, is about the movie, getting the first cricket bat, getting the first badminton racket, and of course, getting the first bicycle. It was all happening within those time frames. So, I mean, all-time movies, I'm not going to be able to pick out one movie as the all-time best, but I mean, of course, that time, we loved Amitabh Bachchan's movie. And obviously, to me, if, were to pick, Diwar would be the one movie. Salim Javed, the both writers, and they wrote some, great classic for Amitabh Bachchan's. Of course, Sholay, every line, every character was famous. So those are some of memories for me growing up in Allahabad. So बहरहाल वो हमारी यादें थी इलाहाबाद की। अंशुल, आप ज़्यादा दूर नहीं थे हमसे, लखनऊ में थे, बगल के शहर में। तो आप बताइए लखनऊ के बारे में क्या था?
अरे क्या बताऊं, मैं लखनऊ के बारे में बहुत यादें हैं, लेकिन आज हम बॉलीवुड के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, तो लेट मी टॉक अबाउट दैट, अबाउट द फिल्म्स व्हेन आई वाज ग्रोइंग अप. माय डैड, he came to Lucknow he took a premature retirement from Indian Army. He's a doctor, now retired. He had his own private clinic, medical practice, and graduated from KGMC in like 50s. As far as movies are concerned, हमारा एक set routine था. Every Saturday, my dad's clinic was closed. And every Saturday, we used to do two things: eat out and see a movie. तो मेरी बहुत यादें. We might have skipped one of those Saturdays in my entire lifespan, but and mostly Amitabh Bachchan movies or Dharmendra, and my mom used to like some very serious kind of movies. When Shorin was talking, मुझे लग रहा था कि my mom is talking all serious kind of movies. Rishikesh Mukherjee.
I love those movies. Yes.
But I don't remember कौन सी my first movie थी, because I might have been really small or young when I'd gone for my first movie, but huge fan of Amitabh Bachchan. And one of the tension moments we used to get, my dad, and I think that was a great thing he used to do with us, with me and my sister Tulika. Every time we used to come back from a movie, next day he used to say, write about the movie, what you think about it. And we used to write like a one-pager, one small paragraph. And so that is another thing. But in between, when I was in doing my pre-graduation times, I visited Mumbai for 3 months. I stayed in Worli. There were 3 movie halls, and there was a grocery market by the name of Bengal Chemical over there in Worli. Right, Sharon?
Yeah.
I'm coming back to Arun's question to you. कि वहाँ मैंने क्या देखा है? So we were doing something. We had gone out for dinner. So there was an Amitabh Bachchan movie, Shan. उसकी shooting चल रही थी. And Mazhar Khan, if you remember, he was on his, I don't know what to call, a kind of wheelchair, and he was shooting that on the sea face. It was fun to watch, but they did this one scene for 45 minutes. It was so boring. But anyways, coming back to Bollywood movies, it's been great. like our experiences out there. Amitabh Bachchan and my favorite director used to be, because I was a huge fan at that point of time of thriller and action, like Amar Akbar Anthony and Sholay and all these Amitabh Bachchan movies. But Devar is almost my all-time favorite. And
Yeah.
one movie I really enjoyed was from Shorin Rishikesh Mukherjee, Chupke Chupke. I love
Oh,
it. I
yes.
still love it. I
Yes,
still love
Great
it.
movie.
yes.
So, anyways, that's all about my childhood memories about that. But let's talk now. Let's switch gears from our own experiences to. So, Arun, why don't you talk about? There has been quite a bit of transition in the Bollywood, the technology, the acting, the content piece is amazing these days now. The songs, the dialogues, the violence, the sex, and all that stuff, right? Do you think is Bollywood is still relevant with the influx of OTT and all those things? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it's still going to be, there. I mean, if you look at the business side, it's at something like $3 billion industry.
Mhm.
And all the overseas revenue that also continues to grow. I think it's about 350 million plus. I mean, going to movie theater, there was a movie from South, I forget the name,
Bahubali.
Bahubali.
Yeah.
I mean, they had tickets for like $20, $25, and I could not believe that. So Bollywood is expanding. I mean, the movie theaters in US, we had no movie release here. We just have to watch those old video cassettes. But now, they are releasing every regional movie out here in the US. And the best part is now you can go, get the samosa in the movie theater. Never thought we'd get samosa in the movie halls in the US. I think the Bollywood's not going anywhere. It's just going to get bigger, better. Internationally, it will expand. Within India, the culture is not going to be the same. I mean, for us growing up, we want to look up to the actors, Amitabh Bachchan's and Dharmendra and all that stuff. It's going to be different, but I think all these OTT and all other is supporting industry around the main pillar of Bollywood.
And I'll just to add to that before I let Shorin talk about it. If I'm coming back to the business side of Bollywood, if I do a before and after that, the definition of a movie getting like super hit over here, that's totally different now. I remember there used to be Silver Jubilee and Gold Jubilee and Diamond Jubilee of movies, whether it is Chupke Chupke or Sholay or Devar or any of those movies. Today they don't talk about this. They have 2,000 prints, which they want to give it to the distributors all around the globe, US, London, Pakistan, and like southern part of the country, and they get revenue out of it. If they've made like they're already there with like 1,000 crores or 800 crores just based on this business model.
Oh yeah, I
Right.
mean, look
Yeah.
at Dangal that was released, I think, back in 2006 or 8. Still, it's the number one revenue-producing movie because of all the revenues
Right.
they pulled in from different countries.
Correct. No, great. Shorin, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
Before I jump into answering that question, I'll bring 1 minute के लिए circuit back for some lightness. तो लेडी डॉक्टर सर्किट भाई को पूछती है, तुम साला रोज इधर सुबह सुबह क्लिनिक के बाहर खड़े होके इधर औरतों को घूरते रहते हो, ये क्या करते हो बॉस यहाँ पे, ये क्या कर रहे हो भाई? तो सर्किट बोलता है, भाई जी आप ही वहां पे लगा है, औरतों को देखने का टाइम 9 से 11 बजे, तो अपन आके इधर खड़ा है, क्या करेगा?
Hey, Soren, those jokes are good, but my friend, keep your day job.
yeah.
Hey, I'm sure there will be people who like that. But coming back to a more serious topic, right? Is Bollywood still relevant? And if you ask my opinion, I would say yes, it's getting bigger. From an industry standpoint, we see all these 1,000 crore movies being made, the Pathans, Jawan, Animal. But as far as real cinema goes, as far as real content goes, the last time I saw a good content movie, like Anshul spoke about Chupke Chupke, right? That was a story with original, Professor Pyarelal and original dialogues, original, not copied from anybody, from any Western movie. Rishikesh Mukherjee, Basu Chatterjee, right, or even Mahesh Bhatt, all these directors made original stuff back in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Maybe I'm old and nostalgic, not maybe, I am. But right now, it's just more action, more copying of the West, and these are the and release these movies en masse, so that it will then go on and play in 2,000, 3,000 theaters, make money over a weekend. So the content is slowly dying. I think the quality of movies are slowly going down. Of late, I can't think of a single hit movie or movie that I liked, in the past 5 years. I've seen the Jawans and the Pathans. After Dil Dhadakne Do, that was the last movie that I saw in the theater and really liked. In the past 5 years, I have not liked a movie like what I liked, Diwar, or like Sholay, or like one of the other classics, like a Saransh. Yes, there is the odd 12th fail movie that comes out that it really touches your heart, and it's good cinema. But other than that, I think good cinema, good stories are made by people in the South. When during the COVID years, Seema and me started watching a lot of Malayalam movies, and that is where the story is, that is where the storytelling is. But some of the other southern movies, like Bahubali, RRR and all, they are a little over the top. I don't really quite enjoy them, but they are huge hits. So I think the money will be bigger in scale, but I think the cloud of Bollywood will slowly start to shrink from a content standpoint, from a movie that they produce standpoint.
But Sharon, I personally speaking, I differ from you here. I think the content has improved. So I'll give you an example. Today, if I go back and start looking into a movie like Kabhi Kabhi, I'm just talking about Amitabh Bachchan movies, right? Kabhi Kabhi, Amar Akbar Anthony, I cannot sit and see those movies at all. Like, I used to love them at that point of time. But today, the best of the best movies, I have my remote in my hand, I just skip and see the major scenes out there. So what I'm trying to say, the engagement piece has improved, the technology has improved, the cameras have improved, the content has improved a lot. But even if you go back in 70s and 80s, they were great movies and they were bad movies, which is happening today also, right? You get all these RRR and different movies from South, which is like on a huge landscape, right? It's all business out there, AI and animations coming out there. But I think we are moving towards a lot of improvement out there. But I personally see the content has improved like hugely. The content piece, not how that content is being enacted, like Animal. I loved the first part of the movie, but the second part was trash. Yes. What a movie, man. So what I'm trying to say over here is, even if the content today is mediocre, they have got the business sense of making movies, the engagement piece, so that it's running like this, right? So that it's getting viewers' attention, and they are hooked to that movie. I know there's ups and downs everywhere, but that was my personal opinion.
Of course, but the people who are making good movies, as far as I think, are the OTT platforms. Netflix is making some great movies, right? Original content in India. So is Amazon Prime. So and Hotstar. Some of these people, are making fantastic movies with good original content. So I think that is what the next wave is going to be, as far as content-wise driven. But otherwise, it will be the mega stars, right? Like
Correct.
After Shah Rukh Khan, there is not really a mega star. That era has died. So I don't know how they are going to drive that in Bollywood going forward.
Meherban Kadardan, अपनाइए या ठुकराइए, लेकिन शो ज़रूर देखते रहिएगा। आपके देखने से हमारा थोड़ा खून बढ़ेगा और इसी तरह आपके साथ कभी कभी हम लोग कार्यक्रम लेके आके आपके साथ जुड़े रहेंगे। नमस्कार।
मिलते हैं फिर से। बाय।
All right, guys. Thanks. I have to run.
Pushpa, I hate yes. नमस्कार।
जा जी ले अपनी जिंदगी फिर से।
जी ले अपनी
सिमरन।
सिमरन जी ले अपनी जिंदगी।
या सिमरन जी ले फिर से।
जा जी ले सिमरन।
Have a
Bye,
good
guys.
weekend, guys. Thank you.